Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking to the people who've never been to a convention before or who haven't cosplayed before. I'm just going to be going over some things you should know, look forward to, and all these different things. So without like holding off any longer, let's jump into this. The number one thing you should know and follow is cosplay is not consent, and what that means is just because someone is dressed like a character doesn't mean they are that character. So if you want to take a picture of them, just ask them before you take a picture of them. Don't randomly run up to them and hug them unannounced because you might get hurt. They might think they're under attack. Their cosplay might be fragile. Just things like this. So just use common knowledge, common sense before you do something, and you should be good. So let's talk about the things that can go down at a convention. Usually like later on in the convention, past like 7 o'clock, there were like dance parties and raves and dances and all these different things. A lot of multi-day conventions have a gaming room, which is open till like late. I think I've been to a convention where it was like open up till like 3 in the morning. So the gaming room is pretty fun. Now I've never actually went to a gaming room. I don't know if they cost money or what. So just bring money in case. They have a lot of panels for multi-day conventions. Some smaller conventions, if they have any panels, it's not going to be a lot. But yeah, if you want to go to a panel, look at the schedules and it will have a ton of different like time states and like event locations. So just go to that place at that time to meet up with a panel. And they have panels for everyone. And some of them are fun, some of them are just like, here's what you like need to know if you want to do this for a living, and just some of them are informative and all this. And then some of them talk about like animes and mangas that are coming out. It's just a bunch of different things. So if you are wanting to go to panels, make sure you look at what panels are going on, because some of them could be of interest to you. Okay, so now let's jump into cosplaying. Okay, so before I actually get into the cosplay like things, I want to say something. So there are people out there who will discriminate against your cosplay, and it's sometimes other cosplayers and sometimes it's just normal people. But it's sad to see other people within the community trying to divide the community. Like, Aki did a video, someone like this, so I'm not gonna stay on this topic for a long time. But instead of trying to divide the community and saying, hey, you can't dress that way because that character's a different race than you, or that character's is a different sex than you, or you're too big to cosplay as that, or you're not big enough to cosplay that. Like, it's just stupid to see people act this way within the community. I mean, who cares if someone who is underweight wants to cosplay as Boo, and who cares that someone is a little bit overweight wants to cosplay as Miku? Who cares? Like, who cares? Who cares if someone's a guy wanting to cosplay as freaking Haruhi Suzumiya, however you say her name. Like, who cares if a woman wants to cosplay as Goku? Like, who cares? We're all here to have fun. And instead of trying to divide us in saying, hey, you can't do this, and making us feel bad, maybe you should, I don't know, encourage other people, because it takes a lot of courage to actually cosplay in the first place. So we shouldn't be dividing the community that's already small to begin with. So that being said, let's talk about some things about cosplay. Alright, so the first thing actually goes off the thing that I just talked about is it doesn't matter what race you are, what sex you are, or how big you are, or how small you are. You can cosplay any other character that you want. If you are a man wanting to cosplay as Miku, go ahead and do it. If you are a woman wanting to cosplay as Goku, go ahead and do it. If you are white wanting to cosplay as Garnet, go ahead and do it. It doesn't really matter. If you are black and you want to cosplay as L, you can do it. I mean, it doesn't even matter. So, just cosplay as the characters that you want to cosplay as. Don't let other people discourage you from cosplaying, because a lot of people in the community will support you. So don't let the small percentage of the community discourage you from having fun, okay? So, that being said, let's talk about the things you can do while cosplaying. So, you can go, like, usually they have a, like, contest depending on what con you go to. And if you want to enter it, you can enter it. They usually have like 3 or 4 different levels, entries. One is like a children's cosplay contest, one is like an entry level, one is like a medium level, and one is usually like an expert level. And usually some cons base it off of how much percentage you made of your cosplay. Like if you made 100% of your cosplay, you would be entered in the expert level. And if you bought your cosplay, you'd be entered in the beginning level. So, and then some cons are like, how many contests have you won? And like, some cons are actually like that. So, no matter like, if you pulling up the character excellently, you made your costume all by yourself, you still might be placed in an entry level place just because you haven't won any contest yet. Which I sort of find that stupid, but I sort of see where they're coming from. So, that being said, you can, if you built your entire costume and you want to, or even if you bought it and you want to enter a contest, go ahead and do it. I do it, and it's actually really fun. See, if you're going to like a one-day convention, or going to a convention for one day that's a multi-day convention, usually they wait until later on in the day to have the contest, and if you don't have nothing to do, it can get boring to like just sit there and wait for the contest to actually happen. But just make sure you are ready, because you will be standing in front of hundreds of people. So just make sure you are mentally and emotionally prepared for that, because it does take a lot of courage to stand on that stage. But it's really fun to go up there and to show off your cosplay. If you're walking around and something falls off your cosplay and you don't know what to do, well, most conventions actually have a cosplay like fixer area where you can go to the place and either they'll fix it for you or you can fix it for you. So that's actually really good and really handy. A lot of people actually bring their sewing stuff and all their supplies with them. Like I know someone who literally brings a trailer full of everything. Like they use it to carry their totes for their cosplay, and they have like a huge like tool chest in the back of it with a bunch of different tools, because they do so many different cosplays and they need all these different tools depending on what cosplay they're doing. So some people bring their own equipment, some people don't, because they might not have the equipment. So always go to the cosplay first aid or whatever it's called. It can be helpful. Okay, so that's all my tips and advice for cosplaying and going to conventions. Oh, a couple more things is make sure you keep yourself hydrated and like because you are going to be doing a lot of walking and you don't want to be dehydrated because that can be pretty rough, especially at the convention, especially if you're a couple like hundreds of miles away from your home and you're at a hospital and like especially if you don't have no way to contact your family and tell them, hey, I'm at the hospital. So just make sure you keep yourself hydrated, make sure you keep yourself fed. Don't spend all your food money on things at the convention. Use your food money for actual food and save your gas money for gas. That's it might be tempting, but you can't get home with a Goku statue in your gas tank. You just can't. And make sure you actually go to sleep the night before the convention, because trust me, there's nothing worse than going to a convention with no sleep and having to drive all the way back home. Or just in general, going to a convention with no sleep because you don't get to have as much fun. So just make sure you get some pretty good rest before you go to the convention. Hopefully these tips and stuff have helped you and you look forward to going to a convention because like I said, they are really fun and I advise you to go to a convention if you have never been to one before. So until next time, and as always, peace out.